Alright. Well, it looks like I made a big mistake. And you know what? That 15-minute SMT divergent or 5-minute SMT divergence seemed to have worked very well out of my favor. So, I'm not even going to write anything down today. I'm just going to make this quick and simple. Because I didn't really. Mm, I didn't really take a real trade, and I definitely didn't do much today, you know? So, first of all, my initial findings obviously technically pointed me to bullish, correct? Now, I only got in consolidation here, I got bullish here. Everything else, not really bullish. Didn't really point to anything at all. Um, but you know what did happen here was um, that SMT I saw. I saw this SMT happen while this was making lower lows. S&P 500 was making higher lows, and Nasdaq was making higher lows. And I should have just taken that bullish trade. All right. Again, another problem with marrying the trade. I wanted to see bearish, and I just didn't think that we would go bullish from here. And the problem with that was we took out long-term buy-side liquidity back here and back here. This did have it, but technically it would have, right? And then on the 5-minute time frame, we see SMT divergences for bullishness. Um, and we go down to the 1 minute and we see slow consolidating movement, but we're still overreaching for bullish more than we are bearish, right? So that should have been an indicator that I wanted to get in for bullish instead of bearish. However, I didn't do it, right? Another thing was I I got distracted on my phone for a decent while, and instead of changing my idea, I instead just took whatever. Uh, so I didn't end up taking a trade. Um, Thankfully, I stopped recording, and I did leave this trade running. However, within like I think it was like 4 or 5 minutes of me ending the video, I saw that we got into my first position, but my first position was pretty far from. It was my first position was like around here, and we were around about down here, and we made about 54 points within like 2-3 minutes that I was done and uploading the second video. So I thought we had some bullish velocity. So instead, I just closed out the rest of them and just let it slide, right? Um, However, because I closed it and I'm 10 minutes behind, I technically still did lose. That sucks, but whatever, right? Um, so yeah, it was this three candles right here. These three candles, literally, I think I ended it at like 12:20. Well, it was 11:20. But 12:20 New York time. I think it was around 12:20 to 12:22 was when I ended, and then I literally opened up my Google so I could post a video, and then boom, I heard first position get touched. So I was like, okay, so we're not gonna hold this, right? Um, so I think really today definitely. I mean, realistically, I read it wrong. Yes, I didn't take a trade, but I still read it wrong, which is a problem. And I'm glad that I didn't take a real full trade, because had I done so, I would have lost a lot more. I am still kind of in profit. Not by much anymore. I was in profit about 8,000 last week, and then by the end of last week, I was in profit. I believe it was 5 or 6,000, and now I'm only in profit about 1,000, which is not sustainable, not consistent, not helpful at all. So yeah, hopefully I can do better tomorrow. Today for sure my biggest mistake was that SMT, not trusting that SMT, um, and then not taking that sell side liquidity as a hint that hey, we want to go bullish, right? Um, I mean, yeah, I really don't know. I mean, I could have done a bearish trade on open if I wanted to because of this movement here, and then we consolidated and continued a little bit. But you know, if I didn't catch that, I should have been able to at least catch the bullish movement. But I've just been taking some really bad trades. Realistically, after this 10-minute closed above, or 5-minute actually, the 5-minute closes above here, I should have been ready to see and go ahead and take it, because actually I think this was when, no, it wasn't. It wasn't, but uh, still, we swept long-term sell side back here, bunch of times. So I definitely should have been able to catch the bullish momentum here. It would have been a very long trade. Yes, absolutely, it would have. But it would have been much better than waiting all of that time just to lose the trade, right? However, of course, every day is a new day to do better. And so I think today is another indication that I have bad habits, which is not paying attention to the SMTs, um, marrying the trade idea that I come up with initially, um, and before last week, I wrote in my notebook to have confidence in my direction, but not confidence in my position, and I think that was good at times, but for certain times like this, where the direction is unclear to me, I should not have confidence in the direction. I should be a little flip-sided, like I should be ready to switch my bias whenever, uh, especially on a day like this where on the higher time frame, right? We see bearish from Asia session, consolidation in London protraction, and then delayed protraction, we get bullish, but then just before delayed protraction ends, we get bearish, and then we consolidate through AM session. That's just super unclear because there's bearish, nothing, bullish, bearish, nothing, and then we get bearish on open, but then bullish on close. So really, whenever the direction is unclear to me, my trade should be fully unclear as well. So I should be ready to take a trade, yes, but I should be thinking like in terms of liquidity sweeps, confluences, what are we respecting? How are we moving? I should be able to switch my idea just like that, just to catch an actual profitable trade for me. Because I mean, yeah, if I had seen this bullish right here, right, and then this move right here, uh, honestly, I'm looking at it. Most people would probably think 50%, right? Take the 50% and then take bullish trades. I might have even thought that. However, understanding this is velocity right here, right? We move 89 points within, well, we'll count it as 4 candles, right? And then within the next 3 candles, we move 102 points. And we see there's more full bearish candles engulfing all of this bullish move than there are bullish candles, right? And we end up getting a break structure here. Yeah, we get a break of structure here. We fill in this fair value gap, and then we get a big move here, right? But that's not a trustworthy move because we didn't continue it with multiple candles. Like if there were 4 or 5 candles here that were very full, very bullish, we would trust it. But because there's only one bullish candle here, we wait to see what happens. And what happens is we react off of the 50% of this level. We take these fair value gaps. and this order block right here, and this 8:30 or no, this midnight open level, and we react and we go bearish for a little longer, for about 200 points, 300 points, 320 points, right? If we caught that, that would be great. However, that move finished. We swept liquidity, um, got an SMT over here. So we should have just been ready to take bullish trades. I need to remember there's more than one direction that a trade can go, right? Bearish and bullish. There's two directions. And something that I've been doing a lot is focusing more on one direction than the other. I'm trying to make one day only have one direction, right? But realistically, there's two directions in every trading day. There's the high open, or the open high low close, or it's the open low high close. So we will always eventually see bearish or bullish within a day. There's no day where we're just going to get straight bullish or just straight bearish, right? So um I need to stop. I definitely need to stop focusing on one direction every single day, uh, and more do more of predicting when the directions will change instead of which direction I will want the majority of today, right? Because then that will help me to understand, hey, if I miss the trade here, then I can get in here for the opposite side. Or, hey, I can take profit whenever this happens because this time is here and the market's most likely going to reverse there. So today's really just a short, simple review day, trade recap day, because I didn't really do much. I kind of just analyzed, left my trades there, and then I just sat there and waited and watched the entire time. Didn't really take a trade. Didn't lose anything. Well, I lost, but I wouldn't have if I was in not delayed markets. But I was in delayed markets, so when I closed that trade, I was 10 minutes behind, and by that 10-minute mark, it was already pretty far. We can see here. Uh, the trade got in here, and I was analyzing for maybe 1 or 2 minutes. So let's say like 29, right? By 39, we were already up here, which is what, 40 points? 29, 60 points almost. Yeah, we were 60 points away, so unfortunate, but it's whatever. So yeah, I'm just gonna post this one as a quick one. I'm also just doing a really quick and easy trade recap because I really can't think of anything else since it was such a slow and quiet day. I didn't really do much. If there's anything, no, not even. I was gonna say if there's anything that I could nitpick on, it would just be that SMT, which I already talked about. I should have been able to see that SMT as a valid use of an SMT divergence, but I didn't. So now I know. I guess on the 5 minute it would work. Very dependent though. I guess if it's like a crazy SMT like this, sure. But if it was like, oh, we wicked out like fucking 10 points away from each other, I'm not gonna trust that, right? But this was an actual like pretty decent SMT divergence that I should have been able to see. But it was on me. It's whatever though. It's still a paper account, still trying to learn how to get consistent. I mean, it sucks because I used to have like an 80% consistency rate when I was forward testing. I think that was like 2 months ago. It was like March. The entirety of March, my win rate was around like 80%, 75% with the strategy that I'm using. But now I don't know if I'm doing something entirely different from what I did in March. But my win rate has dropped so far down. Like I'm sitting at like a 20% win rate. And again, I don't need a crazy high win rate to stay profitable. I just need a good risk to reward. And yeah, it's showing right now. I've only won one out of the 7 days I've traded, and yet I'm still in profit. But it just doesn't sit right with me to lose that much, right? So yeah, hopefully tomorrow will provide for a better day. So I'll definitely do another video tomorrow. I don't think I'm busy tomorrow, so I think I can for sure do the whole day. But yeah, yeah, I guess I'll just record another video tomorrow.